Good win. There are no bad wins. I thought it was really gutty finding a way to win. Defense with the big turnover in the first half for a touchdown. And then Pons comes back with another one shortly thereafter. We made a couple nice plays in the first half and had a 2-score lead at times. But we weren't playing very well. We just weren't executing. And quarterback's got a few plays that he'll learn from. It wasn't that there weren't things there. They did change their tendencies on us quite a bit. They went from a man coverage team to a zone team. So at some point in the game, you almost like throw out 50% of the game plan and just start shooting them from the hip. And that's what, the second half opened with the interception. So it was tight. We respond with a nice drive and a score. That was the point. I think one of those drives we had 3 runs for third down conversions. And then it became more about sometimes you just got to throw that game plan out. Like, okay, what works against this, right? And but it still comes down to the guys up front and the running back, Justice Ellison, 29 carries. The line did a great job up front. And, the punt return was good. Defensive stops kept coming back, coming up with plays. And, we gutted it out. We gutted it out. And we're 8-0. And it was a great team effort. And I told the team after the game, I said, really good teams, championship teams, they find ways to win games. And that's what we did today. We found ways to win a game.
I guess is in terms of complementary football, the defense scoring a touchdown, special teams setting up a touchdown, the way you talk about adjusting in the second half, is this maybe in terms of all phases as much of kind of contribution as you've gotten in all 3 phases in a game this year?
Well, I don't know if that's complementary football. Complementary football to me is you're playing well and you're balanced on offense and doing all the things you got to do in all 3 phases. What I would say is the defense really saved us early in the game, saved us, and then came up with some big turnovers, and then and then at the end of the game, the offense got the run game going, started eating some clock, and kept them off the field. And special teams with the big return, did their part, and we had some good plays on special teams. So, I think this is a close team with a lot of competitive character, guys that, really want to be good, have the right stuff, and they found a way to win.
Oh, you mentioned Justice in the second half. What made you kind of go to him kind of almost exclusively there? I mean, that's the most carries I think you've had a running back having and going back 3 seasons. Just what were you seeing him and from him that you knew you could lean on him in that second half?
Yeah, there was a time we used to give that guy the ball 42 times a game, but we won't go there. Lawton had a little tweak and didn't feel like he was 100%. And Justin had the hot hand. We had Kalon take a few carries too. But I thought he was terrific. Allison.
Matt, on your left and Todd.
Coach, obviously Taven got the start today. Some good throws, some good plays, but obviously a little bit of inconsistency. Just your thoughts on, I know you've watched the film yet, but just your kind of first blush thoughts on how he played.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he made some good plays. He left as many plays out there. And it's just doing what you're coached to do, reading your key or, don't forget to send the motion, those kind of things.
Todd in front of Rick.
Curt, the offensive line, they've been getting good attention, but this seems like a day that they kind of won it for the offense a little bit, if you want to look at it that way. What did you think of how they were able to create the opportunities for Justice to run and also Taven on a few runs as well?
Yeah, I don't think we gave up a sack. I think the quarterback got hit one time, and we did it, we've been very consistent on the offensive line, and we matched up well against Washington, honestly. But, those 5 guys have stayed on the field. They got a lot of snaps together, which really helps, at that position. I thought they were great.
Yeah.
That 14-play, 75-yard drive in the third quarter gave you the 2-score lead and a little bit of a breathing room, I guess. What changed during that drive that enabled you guys to be able to consistently move the ball?
We really just changed some things there. I think we had 3 running conversions on third down there, if I'm not mistaken. And we played football differently and ate a lot of clock, and probably caught him off guard on a few of those third downs when we ran the ball.
Same thing you left and Seth.
Coach D'Angelo Pon's obviously a freshman All-American last year, but what makes him so good? The instinctual play on the screen for the pick six, and then just his athleticism on that second interception.
You know, he's got good talent, but he's got competitive character. You know, he's a competitor, and he wants to be great. And, you know, he's got day in, day out consistency. You know, he does the things that help him improve on a daily basis. And, like, that's his goal. He wants to be the best football player he can be. And he loves the process and everything that goes into that. And he's intelligent. And and he comes from an area down there in Miami where, you know, those guys growing up, high school, you know, a lot of pride down there in South Florida about being a baller. You know what I mean? And he's a baller.
Seth on your left and Zach B.
Yeah, Curt, I know you got a little upset with Miles Price for letting that one punt drop in, and then obviously he broke off the big return right after that. Just, I guess, you know, how much of a spark plug is he, and how big of a moment is that to really help put the game away?
Yeah, I told him that between the negative 20-yard return and the big return, they came out to 0 net yards. No, that punt return was a huge play in the second half. And we had some good blocks, and he hit the hole. And, you know, we made some timely plays in the second half. And special teams played a big role.
Zach B. front right, then Pete.
You talk about D'Angelo Pons and his season last year. That comes with expectations. What have you seen from him that have been able to handle those expectations, and how have you seen him handle himself off the field for such a young player?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good player, and he wanted to step up and play against, you know, competition at the highest level, like all the other ones did. And, you know, he's showed that he's more than capable.
Pete back left and Bradley.
Curt up here. What makes this O-line so special? You've addressed it a little bit, but what really makes them special?
You know, Bob does a great job coaching them. They're all real tough, hard-nosed kind of guys. And they function well together. And Bob keeps it simple. And, you know, we don't have missed assignments, things of that nature. And they're tough guys. They're tough guys.
Jeff row 2, and then we'll wrap with Daniel.
Yeah, Coach, just big picture. You guys are 8-0. You haven't trailed all year. You know, how well are you guys playing? How good of a season is this turning into?
I mean, you are what your record says you are, you know. Believe me, we're going to put that tape on. It ain't going to be real pretty a lot of times on offense. And it won't be on defense either. There'll be a lot of mistakes out there. So, you know, but we're not off to a bad start, I guess.
Daniel front, last one.
You kind of mentioned, you know, the whole week that you all had to win for this week to really matter, but just having the outside eyes, having just the whole, you know, attention part of it, have you kind of had a chance to reflect at all about the magnitude of it all?
Well, you know, game day came, and we talked to the team briefly about it on Monday, and really didn't dwell on it after that. And I dealt with it a little bit after the walkthrough yesterday evening with the team for about 15 seconds. And because, you know, that's a great thing to have at your university, the exposure and all that stuff. But it's real easy for your team to kind of like lose their focus on like what they're there for, right? And have just seen it happen, I mean, over and over and over. And we overcame it, and we won. So it was a good day.